Welcome, fellow introverts, in this video chat where I'll tell you my experiences on surviving in this world, which is quite overwhelming for us introverts. I am quite an introverted person, and discovering it and dealing with this was quite a journey, quite challenging journey as well, because I'm not gonna lie that for a big portion of my life, in fact until only just like a few years ago, I really thought I'm not normal and there's something not quite right with me, because when everyone would go to school and I don't know, after all the classes, all the activities, people would just like to hang out and then go to the park, play games, do all these silly things that every kids do. I just never felt like doing it. All I wanted to just go home, to just chill out. Also over the weekends, yes, of course, I wouldn't mind meeting my friends from time to time, but generally I just felt like I don't really want to have a big plans for every single weekend. I just really like to spending time on my own. For those who don't know what's this all about, the difference is in our brains. Extroverted people get the life fuel that allows them to feel happy and energized and just active from external factors. So they love to be surrounded by people, they love when things are going on, they love doing things out there. A lot of extroverts don't really know what to do with themselves when they have to spend some portion of time on their own. But it's exactly opposite for introverts. Introverted people charge their batteries by being on their own, and every time they meet with external world, and especially with people, this life energy is being taken away from them. When it drops to the certain level, they have to withdraw in their own world and in a quiet in their own time. That's when they recharge, and then they can go back again. For me, the world that's going on out there, it's maybe like 10% of my reality. It's the most exciting parts, the most amazing journeys and most thrilling experiences I get is when I'm on my own, because the world that's within me, that's in my head and in my heart and in just everything, being alive and looking within what's going on, is like 90% of my world, and I just love exploring it. Every time I have to go out, every time I go to work, every time I meet new people, this is a challenge. And please don't get me wrong, I am not a shy person. It's just that this is something that requires this extra push and extra energy for me, and I need to be mentally prepared in order to really go and do things out there in this outer world effectively. I love spending time at home, I love spending time in the nature, I love spending time in very small groups of people, maybe with just like one or two of my good friends. I love having deep conversations about, God, existence, politics, feelings. I love all of these. It's really funny because I started to create videos for YouTube because I wanted to improve my communication skills and my presentation skills, my speaking skills, because it's such an so much out of my comfort zone. You probably cannot even imagine until you're introverts. You should even see the process of me recording some of the videos. It takes forever because in my head it's like perfect speech and it's like perfect, but as soon as the video is on, as soon as the camera is on, I start to lose the track and lose my plot, and once I stop it, I really have no idea what I was even going to say. It's very, very not easy for me, so I have to stop, I have to think about it again, where was I, and I have to start again to play it all again. Also, I just realized that all my best friends are extroverts. Really, all my closest family and my friends, the ones I spend most time with, are actually extroverts. I don't really know where that's come from, maybe, opposite attracts. But yeah, interesting. The breaking point for me was around the time when I was in a relationship with this guy. We were together for like quite a long time, like over 3.5 years. The thing is that this person was a big attention seeker, in a sense, my attention seeker. He didn't know what to do when he was by himself. He completely didn't respect my need for being alone and for my own free time by myself. To him was like, when we came from work and from whatever school that we had, that was the time when we should all the time spend together, and I didn't think like it. I don't want to blame anybody, because at the time I didn't even know myself, I didn't know what's going on, I didn't know I needed to be alone. A lot of times I think he might have taken this as a sign that I don't want to be with him and spend time with him, but it didn't necessarily mean that. By my need of being alone, I didn't really mean that I don't want to be with him, it's just like I needed to spend time alone. I left this relationship feeling like there was something really, really wrong with me, that I'm not good enough. I discovered that I'm introverted, and it was massive relief for me to finally realize that this is nothing wrong with me, it's just the way my brain works. And moreover, there's much more people around me than just myself like this. Was when I was traveling in Asia, and I remember we were in Kuala Lumpur. My friend took us to this great party. It was like on top of some building, you know, a super Saturday evening, so cool. And at the time I was traveling already for like a couple of months, so I was already like overwhelmed by the amount of people around me, all the time something going on, everything is changing all the time. This takes so much energy from me. So I remember I just got out of this club, of this party place. I stood out on the balcony, I was looking at the streets of Kuala Lumpur, and I was on my phone thinking like, what's wrong with me? Like, there's the best party behind me going on, and I'm feeling so drained and so tired, and all I want is just to go home. I'm tired of the music, I'm tired of these people, and it has nothing wrong with my friends. It was just like I was just so exhausted. And then on the phone somewhere I found this little funny picture, this GIF, talking about things only introverts will understand, and I was like, oh my god, this is me, this is me. So that was the time when I understood I'm an introvert, but it took me a few more years to actually figure out how to live with this fact that I'm an introvert. That was pretty much after that relationship was over, when I finally had a little bit of time for myself, and I finally could explore this place of being alone that really was calling me to explore. I just accepted that, you know what, I am an introvert. I will always need this space for myself. I will always need more time on my own than possibly other people around me. And you know what, it's okay. It's okay. I cannot change it. All I can do is to accept it the way it is and then work with it. I finally, instead of fighting with myself, I started to work with just the way I work, just the way my brain works. The few tricks and tips I've discovered for myself that really, really worked, maybe for you, my friends introverts, will also work if you haven't figured this out yet. These tricks helped me to be normal in the light of the world, but in the same time to respect my own need for privacy and for, you know, my need for my own space. When it comes to working generally, I cannot imagine more like a bigger nightmare than working all day with people and in the same time having every time lunch with a group of people as well. As much as I have a lot of friends at work, this would be my idea of a nightmare. And also after work hanging out somewhere together, like all day, every day. I would just literally go crazy. I don't mind hanging out after work, I don't mind having work lunches, but I just need to know in advance because if I don't, then yeah, it takes so much of my energy, and at the end of the day I'm just like wrecked and exhausted if I cannot mentally prepare that, for example, the next day or 5 days or 10 days I'll be spending with people. Same situation goes with phone calls. I would think especially at home, because when I'm at work I'm kind of like alert all the time, so it's better. But when, for example, somebody calls me with something really, really important in the moment when I'm just completely unprepared because I was expecting this phone call to happen the day after, but I suddenly see the name on the phone and I was like, oh my god, the chances are I'm not gonna pick up. The chances are I'm gonna just let it call and then like, you know, gather myself and like get quickly really, really ready and then phone that person back sometime later, because it just you know, I'm so unprepared. It's just too much for me to take this kind of phone call. I know it sounds funny for a lot of you, but this is just the way it works for me. Similarly, I would think it work when I'm working on something at work and I'm in the middle of this like thinking process and I'm at my desk and I'm just having this like amazing journey in my mind, and then someone just unexpectedly comes to me like, excuse me, Olga, and I'm like, oh, what's going on? I hate it. This is like, I feel like I could punch someone really in that moment, because I'm like, you just destroyed my thought process. Now, when it comes to hanging out with the people, I emphasize again that I am not shy. It's just that I don't feel comfortable in the big groups of new people, and I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do a small talk. Yeah, I felt very uncomfortable for a long time, but when I finally understood, okay, I'm introverted, this is just the way it is, I'm never going to be feeling probably comfortable in a group of big people, big group of people who just talk, throw funny lines on top of each other. I'm rubbish at it. I'm rubbish at ripostas. I'm rubbish at being funny in front of a big group. I'm completely rubbish. But I am very good at one-to-one conversation, or conversation between me and two other people, or three people is max around me, for me to feel really confident and really good about myself. I've learned to just use any other time apart from being in a big group to connect with people on individual basis. And then if you win the person one by one, before you know it, you win the whole group. I'll give you an example. When I started a new role a year ago, everybody was new, like everybody, even my manager. I didn't know anybody before coming to the new department. And then straight away we had the daily huddles, we had meetings, updates, everything all together. And I didn't really know people, and it was kind of expected from me to say something at these meetings, even tiny bit, even ask questions, but I felt very, very uncomfortable because I didn't know the people. Once the groups are over, slowly, I would go to the printer and a person was there, so I would chat with that person. For example, in a lift, it happened that there are two people from my team. That's when I would chat with them. It would happen that, I have to sort something out, so instead of sending email to that person, I would just walk over to that person and chat to them, because I know my strong point is one-to-one conversation. I also think it's very important to surround yourself with people who can understand you and just accept you just the way you are. So my friends, all the friends that I have, they know me good enough to know that it's okay if I, for example, not necessarily reply to them straight away when they message me. Of course, when it's something really, really important, emergency, they call and they know that I will be there for them. However, we have this connection with all my family, friends, and the closest people to me, loved ones, that they know that I'm here even though I don't respond all the time. The balance between social life and my personal life, it's a little bit different than for other people, especially who are extroverted. So for them, like, social will be priority and then their own time would not be. But for me, it's exactly the other way around. So all the people who know me well, they just they got it and they're not angry if I don't want to come out, if I don't want to, meet or something, if I don't reply straight away. I think it's very, very important to have people like this around you and stop trying to make yourself different than you are just to impress somebody. It just doesn't work like this. And one thing that really helped me was really scheduling at least 1 hour a day when I'm switching everything off, and I mean everything. Phones off, computers off, there's no music, nothing. I'm just sitting, and it's not meditation. I don't do meditation anymore. Although someone may say this is a form of meditation, but I don't think so. I just sit there, really. I have to sit because if I lay, I'll probably fall asleep. But I really take at least 1 hour a day when I'm on my own in a room where nobody can enter, with my eyes open. I'm just letting my thoughts to, get in order in my head. All the chaos in me disappears. My life battery's charge is just like ding, goes up. So if you haven't tried it, perhaps it's something maybe you could think about of doing, because it's really, really made a whole of a difference in my introverted world. Just one more thing I wanted to touch on. This video probably gonna be so long, but whatever. If you're still here, then thank you. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I am not living in your shoes. However, for me, letting myself to really explore that inner world and giving myself all this time and space I need to look within made me extremely empathic and made me very self-aware of my own self, my own emotions, my own moods. I can hear the calling within me really, really strong. My intuition is very, very strong. I just have I can hear this inner guidance very, very clearly. Probably that's one of the reasons why it exhausts me so much to be all the time around people, because I'm tuning into every person I meet. So I can pick up beyond the words that they say. In fact, I feel the slightest change of emotions in people, the slightest change of the atmosphere in a room when there's a group of people, the slightest changes of energy or dynamics in a group or in between myself and somebody else, or just generally in the places where I am. It made me very, very sensitive to these things, and I realized not everybody has like it. So I'm really curious whether you, friends introverts, also have something like this, or maybe this is just something very particular to myself. I don't know. I'm curious. I'm just curious. So to summarize, we introverts have a very, very powerful abilities, because we are amazing at deep thinking about the ideas, about concepts, something that floats in the air. I know this video is going to be really, really long, but I really wanted to talk about it, to make a video like this. So maybe you can understand a little bit where I'm coming from as an introvert, and perhaps there were some things that I have already lived through and I can share it with you that can help some of you to feel normal and feel accepted and loved just for who you are, and that it is really, really okay to be who we are. And again, this is not for me to say that extroverts are bad and introverts are good, or all the way around. It's just the way it is. I think it's really good to take time to get to know yourself and work from your strong point once you understand them, because that's when we are useful to the world. Okay, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in my other videos. Bye bye.